this is a sequence of steps that you will need to know, and it includes some of the components of tap dance. We're going to get into a back flap with a heel. We're going to get into a flap cramp roll in a triplet rhythm, and then a front flap heel heel. Okay, so these are some really basic steps, and you'll need to know them because they are in one of our choreography pieces that everybody will do. So, and of course we'll work on this in July in the studio, but if you want to get a head start, or once we started in the studio, if you want this video to refer back to. Okay, so back flap. So we're going to work on running flaps, okay, which again are that idea that this is coming from the hip joint, okay. Back flap. So when you lift the leg and strike the bottoms of the toes backwards, that is sometimes called a spank or a brush back, okay, or a back brush. And if we then stop it with the ball of the foot stopping to the floor, and we combine those two sounds, we have a back flap, okay? So, and those are all made now with the same, if I drop the same heel, and you can see that for style purposes, the other foot is sort of swinging out of the way, which isn't necessarily part of the step, but it is part of the choreography that we're going to do. So I have back flap, heel back flap, heel back flap, heel back flap, heel. Hopefully you can see it. I'll show you what it looks like from the front, but I do find if I'm watching videos of tap dancers doing like tutorials or lessons, usually they're facing away from the camera because it's easier to follow, and we'll see this in the studio because we won't use a mirror in the June, so you'll see me from the back view. Okay, but I'll show you from the front, but again, don't get hung up on the visual because we're not focusing on the visual, we're working from the inside out, okay? So the whole I'm a visual learner thing has actually been debunked, okay? So you have to make this come from the inside out, right? So you have to be playing the rhythm with your body, okay? The rhythm is the most important part. Ba-da, da-da-da, 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 da. A 1, 2, a 3, 4, a 5, 6, a 7, 8. Back flap, heel back flap, heel back flap, heel back flap, heel. Although, let's be real, the names of the steps are actually not super important. Okay, the old heads, the masters, rarely talk in names of steps. Mostly they talk in sounds and like scatting in jazz music. Okay, ba-da, ba-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Okay, so we can count this a 1, 2, a 3, 4, a 5, 6, a 7, 8. Okay. All right, so that's how that works. Then, the next little step, this is a flap cramp. So we've done cramp roll, ball, ball, heel, heel, okay? But we can manipulate the rhythm of that in any way that we want to, depending on the choreography or the improvising that we're doing. Ba-da-ba-da-da, 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 ta-ticka-ba-da, 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 a 1 and a 2, a 3 and a 4, a 5 and a 6, a 7 and a 8. Okay, ba-da-da-da-da. So a triplet, but triplet, but triplet, but triplet, right? Different ways to articulate this. So your first step, we're going to shoehorn a little brush in before we do the rest of the cramp roll. Brush, cramp roll. And technically that brush and that ball of the foot constitutes a flap, okay? Now, because the movement called the flap has two sounds, it's generally pronounced flap, but it's spelled like flap, okay? Flap. Flap, cramp roll. Okay, I'm gonna show this to you on the diagonal. Ba-da-da-da-da. Okay, I'm gonna show it to you from the back. Ba-da-da-da-da. And the other thing we can manipulate with these cramp rolls where we can really have some fun is we can manipulate the stance of how wide or narrow we do it. So for this particular choreography, we're going to go a wide, a narrow, a wide, a narrow. You can see that the brush kind of goes, it kind of connects it. So the brush kind of moves. Da-da, da-da. This I'm actually doing kind of like a sideways inwards brush. Da-da, 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 like that. But really I shouldn't. Really I should lift the leg. So that I'm making both sounds on the legs way down is the correct way to do it. So if you find yourself sort of brushing in between, that should be a signal to yourself that the technique's not quite right. You're technique-y, as my friend Chris would say. Okay, and then, so that's the second part of this little refrain that we're going to do in our first number. Okay, so that is a flap, cramp, roll. And then we have flap, heel, heel, and this will travel depending on the choreography, okay? But the steps in the rhythm will always be a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, a 8. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, a 8. Okay, and so those are flaps. And it just so happens that in this choreography it starts with the right foot. Flap, heel, heel, flap, heel, heel, flap, heel, heel, heel. So, like the shuffle, the first sound happens on the way down and then it stops. So you want to stop it with enough weight that you can that you could release the other foot. Okay? Brush stop. Okay? So brush stop. Okay? Brush stop. Brush stop, heel, heel, brush stop. That's not the rhythm. Okay. Brush stop, heel, heel, brush stop, heel, heel, brush stop, heel, heel, brush stop, heel, heel. I'll show you on the diagonal. So it's the other heel that drops first. Okay. So that you can free up the other foot. And as you're learning this, really exaggerate the lifting of the other leg so that you can make both sounds of the flap on the way down. Flap, heel, heel, flap, heel, heel, flap, heel, heel, flap, heel, heel. Okay. Yeah, so work on those components and then we'll put them together in the choreography. Thank you.